Alright, welcome back to DajibanLife. Yeah, so today, as you can see, I'm going to be working on the suspension. I went to the junkyard yesterday and pulled some 2500 truck springs. This is off sorry, there's my neighbors having a party, or my parents' neighbors are having a party. But yeah, this is off of a flatbed truck, 2500 Ram. Same model year, so hopefully that'll stiffen up the front a little bit, so that it's not riding on the bump stops all the time. And I got these new spring spacer things, and here I got some Monroe load adjust shocks. I think the backs are gonna work. They're made for a Grand Caravan, but because of that ride height, I think they're the right length for the application. But the fronts here, I'm not so sure about. I think they might be a little bit long for what I'm trying to do. So if these go out, then I guess it's like a semi expensive experiment, 60 bucks, kind of down the drain. But I did find another pair of shocks that might work for an international truck. I think it's for like a semi or something. But those might be the right length. I don't know. Once I put these springs in, the ride height will change in the front a little bit. So we'll see about that. And then I'm also replacing my strut rods, because I think this van was an accident before I bought it. And the strut rods under there, I mean, I'll show you when I take them off, but the strut rods under there are pretty, like, they rubbed up against the frame, and they're almost cut all the way through. But I'll show you guys that once I get to that part. But yeah, I think I'm gonna start with the rear shocks, because those are really easy. It takes like 10 minutes. So just put those in and see what the ride height looks like. So just for reference, we're gonna start here. So in the front, start there. Hopefully I can get the same angle later. But yeah, so let's get started on that. Alright, so I got the shock off. The Bilstein is still doing good. But as you can see, it's a little bit longer than the new shocks that I got, the load adjusters. So the Bilsteins were like compressed almost all the way down. There might have been maybe an inch of travel left, maybe an inch and a half, 2 inches maybe. I mean, I guess they didn't bottom out, or these are just really super strong. They are the heavy duty, the HD ones, so that probably helped. But these are definitely shorter, so that should definitely help with, and I think the bottom is way lower. I don't know exactly how far low the Bilsteins go, but this definitely seems like it has a little bit more travel on the bottom end. So hopefully these work better. Right now I stopped here because the new shocks actually don't fit. I need to grind down the edge here a little bit. It's just like maybe like a 1/16 of an inch too thick. So I'm just gonna grind those down on both sides and get them in there and see how it looks. Alright, that was more of a pain in the butt to get on than I thought, but it's on there. I think it's maybe like half an inch higher, so I don't think it really lifted the rear too much, but we'll see. Once I take it for test drive, I gotta do the other side. But yeah, that was kind of a pain in the butt. It took way longer than I thought it would. Alright, it's actually the next week. What happened was I installed these shocks, but I had to actually modify them because this bar pin style, if it'll focus, is actually a smaller bar pin than what these vans actually use. And this was also close-ended, so I actually had to cut the ends off to make them open, but they were a little short, so the nuts, or the bolts I mean, weren't fully grabbing. They were only grabbing like maybe a little bit, like that much of the tip of the forks here. So I mean, it worked, but the thing was, this is the passenger side. I got these on the passenger side okay, but when I did the driver's side, one of the bolts actually broke. And here are the bolts from the passenger side that I just took out, and you can see that it's hello? Can you focus? Maybe not. But you can see that it's bent. It's definitely you see how when I spin it in my finger, it kind of like yeah. So I think maybe the angle at which the bolts were holding onto this guy, because there's only half of the bolt wouldn't be on anything, just stuck in the middle there. So it actually broke. So what I had to do was I figured I'd just buy shocks that actually fit the van. So I got these heavy duty like commercial shocks or something that are made specially for this van. They're just Monroe. I guess they're not that special. But the thing is, the compressed length is 8 and 7/8 inches, something like that. And when I'm lowered, I'm pushing like, you know, probably around 8 inches. So that would mean that the shock is fully compressed all the way down all the time. So what I did was I stuck some washers under, so that gave me about a 1/2 inch of clearance. But that still puts me at 8 and 1/8 or something. 4/8. What is that? 8 3/8 inches. So I had my bump stops cut all the way down, and actually I cut so much of it off that it was actually hitting metal. So I actually pulled some new bump stop, this guy right here, new bump stops in the junkyard, and I cut them down like just about 1 inch, just so that the bump stops will prevent the shocks from bottoming out, and hopefully that'll save them. So I think the travel right now is around 8.5 inches with the bump stops, kind of slowing things down. So 8 3/8 with the washers should be enough travel for the shock. It would just be almost bottoming out, like 1/8 of an inch from bottoming out. I mean, I'll start driving like it's like an actual lowered car. It's kind of weird because it's a big van. To drive it like a lowered car, I just kind of want to drive it like a truck, because I have a truck. I have a Ford Ranger also, and usually I just kind of, you know, just run over everything as a truck. Who cares, right? But yeah, I think I'm gonna have to start driving this thing like a lowered vehicle, which probably makes sense because I didn't show you guys this, but I got my fridge. So there it is. Finally, after 7 reorders from Home Depot, they reordered it 7 times, but I finally got my fridge in. It works. It was cloudy a couple days ago, so actually my battery was depleted pretty far, but then it was sunny again the next day. Like, the way I calculated it was that I could have 2 days of no sun, and I could be able to you know, run this fridge. So it pretty much worked out, because it was cloudy all day one day, and then the next day it was sunny, and I was scraping bottom of the battery. So that definitely confirmed what I was thinking. But instead of propane, I'm thinking of using like an electric, not an electric stove, but they make these little like hot pot like cooker things, and it's for a hot pot basically, but you can cook meat and stuff in there too. And so I thought of maybe going all electric. At first I was thinking like an induction cooktop, because it's super efficient, but it's like 1800 watts, so I'd have to shut everything else off and just run that. But I'll only cook for maybe like half an hour, so it'd just be half an hour out of the day, but that's still 900 watts, and so that's like, you know, like a half day's worth of battery life. If it has, you know, 2 days of battery life, that's a quarter of, you know, my capacity. So is that worth it? I mean, it'll recharge back during the day and all that stuff, but you know, I'm not sure. So that little hot pot thingy is 1350 watts max. So, you know, that's a little bit less. And I'll probably, you know, I could like, and I don't need pans. That's what I like that, you know, I like that because I won't need pans or pots or anything. I just cook in the thing and then that's it, you know, just just eat out of that. I could stick the bowl, I guess, the metal bowl into the fridge after I'm done. So yeah, maybe I might do that and have like maybe like a butane burner, like a single burner as a backup, or a propane burner as a backup, in case, you know, I'm like really low on power, or if it's cloudy for like a week straight or something. Because I'm not so worried about the fridge going out, because I could just, you know, within the next few days or whatever, eat everything in it. But if I can't cook, you know what I mean, like then all that food, it just kind of goes to waste. So and I can always buy ice and just shove it in the fridge, you know, to keep it cool in there. So I think what I'm gonna do is, yeah, definitely I'll have a propane burner of some form in here, but I might not use it so much because in the winter it's nice because it generates some heat for me when it's cold. But in the summer it's gonna be like super hot, you know, like, and then you have a fire in your face and it's hot and it's like, oh man, and it's like inside a tiny van. So yeah, I don't think I'm gonna do that. I think I'm gonna maybe look at something electric and maybe try to get the charging system working. I did buy a solid state relay. Oh yeah, I didn't tell you guys that. I bought another solid state relay. The cheap Chinese ones keep breaking for some reason, but this one, you know, hopefully it's black. The other ones were like beige color, and this one's black. So hopefully that, you know, Wesley Snipes says, you know, always bet on black or whatever. So I'm hoping, you know, the black one works. Then I can run an inverter off my cigarette lighter in the front and plug that into there. I know it's ghetto, it's not how I should be doing it, but you know, it works, and I can get, you know, a 3 amp charge from that, continuous. So when I'm driving, I can charge the battery up when it's cloudy, or if it's cloudy, I could just, you know, do that for a while. I might look at investing into an isolator, a battery isolator, but just things that I've read kind of shy away from that, and they're saying that it's probably not good, especially because I need a transformer, because it's 24 volts that I have. I need to convert the 12 volt, you know, into 24 and then charge my batteries that way, and it's lithium and all that stuff, so it's not a good idea. Yeah, I can shut the charger off with the relay through that little the D-Rock thing, so that it doesn't overcharge, because the batteries I have are from a Fiat 500e electric vehicle, and so they can't be charged for more than 24 volts, pretty much like 24.2 I think is the max on those, because normal 24 volt batteries you could probably charge up to like 28.8 or something and be fine, but these, if you go over that, you're gonna kill the battery. So it kind of limits my range of use, but yeah, you know, whatever, they were cheap. I'll probably upgrade at some point later on. The shit, I can't even talk. The lithium iron, what is it, LiFe PO4, those are probably better because the voltages are more like normal car batteries. So maybe I'll look into getting some of those. Batteries seem to be getting cheaper these days anyway, so, you know, maybe I'll just wait till like a better battery comes out or something, or I'm not sure. But like I have 120 amp hours, like, you know, like kind of estimated 120 amp hours right now. It would be nice to have 200. That was my original plan, was to have 200 amp hours. That's what I calculated out my uses to be. But I couldn't afford 200 amp hours of battery, so I just bought, you know, whatever's cheapest, and only got 120. So I'll look at maybe upgrading later, because it works for now. And, you know, once I start cooking and stuff and doing more things in the van, because right now I really have been only sleeping in it and like working out of it. But once I start cooking and all stuff, I'll get a better sense of what my needs are, and kind of go from there. And if I need to upgrade, I'll upgrade then, because buying new batteries is a lot cheaper than, you know, like eating out all the time or whatever. You know what I mean? It'd be worth the investment in the long run. So yeah, I'm gonna put this wheel back on and lower it down and see if it, you know, what the ride height's like and everything. I like kind of the stance of it now. The other side's already done. I was losing light, so that's why I didn't film either, also sorry for that. but I'm losing light. I was losing light, so I just wanted to get it done real fast before I start filming anything. So now that everything's put back together, I just need to put the wheel back on. Doesn't really matter if it's dark if I do that. And there's a lot of lights at this Home Depot, so that's kind of nice. And also, there's this guy over here that I talked to earlier. You see that van over there? That's a ProMaster 2500 high top. A guy named Oleg owns that, and he has a van build in there. So he showed me around a little bit. Maybe we'll go talk to him later. If I feel like it, because I already talked to him. I don't want to rehash the entire tour again. But it's pretty cool. Like, I'm jealous of the high top, first of all, because you can stand up in it, and he has a shower, a full, like a decent sized shower, and yeah, that's pretty much, you know, all I would be envious of is the high top in the shower. The rest of it was like whatever. Like, 'cause come on, you know, I'm in a Dajiban. Like, what can be better than a Dajiban, man? You know? Yeah. So let me get this wheel back on, clean up my tools, and then I'll show you guys the stance. All right, wheels on. Stance is pretty good. Let me do a quick walk around for you. Yeah, not bad. So the front, I think, looks like slightly higher than the rear. It could just be my eyes playing tricks on me. But yeah, that looks pretty good. I'm happy with that. Before it was like way higher in the front. I didn't like that at all. But yeah. Oh, the other thing I didn't show you guys is this. So this is why I wanted to change out my strut rods. You might have been wondering, like, why would you change those? Because it's just like, I don't know what they even do. It's just like a hunk of metal that holds the frame to the lower control arm. I guess that's sort of important. Yeah, that's pretty important. But like, it was rubbing against the frame there because the what do you call them? The bushings went bad. The stock bushings, like, they rotted away. So this was just up on the frame and just rubbing, and then it just like really just kind of, yeah, ate away that metal. So I replaced this with one that wasn't like that. So hopefully that'll help. But I did find out, putting the wheel back on, that the wheel bearings are probably pretty shot. Probably need to replace the wheel bearings soon, because there's a lot of slop. Like, when I shake the tire, it just moves back and forth. There's probably like a ½ inch of play, like a 1/4 inch both directions, you know, so ½ inch total. So it really wobbles on there. But it's not making any moaning sounds yet. So I think I might, I mean, I should probably just replace it while I know about it. But yeah, I don't know. It's all done, so I'm gonna call it a night and then continue back tomorrow. So maybe I'll go say bye to Oleg over there. He's working on his van. Yeah, good guy, real nice, super cool, like that guy. But yeah, go say bye to Oleg and then call it a night and then pick it up tomorrow. Alright, thanks for watching.